All right, so line 33. And if the man that owns the beasts, I trow, shall every week, and that before cockcrow and before breakfast, drink thereof a draught, as that Jew taught of yore in his priestcraft, his beasts and all his store shall multiply. And, good sirs, it's a cure for jealousy. For though a man be fallen in a jealous rage, let one make of this water his pottage, and never more shall he his wife mistrust, though he may know the truth of all her lust. Even though she'd taken 2 priests, or 3, here is a mitten, 2 that you may see. Who puts his hand therein, I say again, he shall have increased harvest of his grain after he's sown, be it of wheat or oats, just so he offers pence or offers groats. Okay, so the water from the magic well that you make with this sheep bone can also cure jealousy. And not only does he have a bone, which can turn a well into magic, he also has a mitten, like a glove that you can wear. And once you wear it, everything you touch will turn to gold. Not like literally, but your grains will multiply when you harvest them, and you will make more money than you ever have before. Good men and women, one thing I warn you. If any man be here in church right now that's done a sin so horrible that he dare not for shame of that sin shriven be, or any woman, be she young or old, that's made her husband into a cuckold, such folk shall have no power and no grace to offer to my relics in this place. But whoso finds himself without such blame, he will come up and offer in God's name, and all absolve him by authority that has by bull been granted unto me. By this fraud I have won me year by year 100 marks since I've been pardoner. I stand up like a scholar in a pulpit, and when the ignorant people all do sit, I preach, as you have heard me say before, and tell 100 false japes, less or more. I am at pains then to stretch forth my neck, and east and west upon the folk I beck, as does a dove that's sitting on a barn. With hands and swift tongue then do I so yarn, that it is a joy to see my busyness. Of avarice and of all such wickedness is all my preaching, thus to make them free which offered pence, the which pence comes to me. So the only kind of people he wants to come and ask for pardons are people... What?
Are people with money?
Are people with money. Because if you can't pay, it doesn't matter how sorry you are. Line 75. For my intent is only pence to win, and not at all for punishment of sin. When they are dead, for all I think thereon, their souls may well, black burying, have gone. For certainly there's many a sermon grows, oft times from evil purpose, as one knows. Some for folks' pleasure, and for flattery, to be advanced by all hypocrisy, and some for vainglory, and some for hate. For when I dare not otherwise debate, then do I sharpen my tongue and sting the man in sermons, and upon him fling my lying damnations. But if but he has wronged my brethren, or much worse wronged me, for though I mention not his proper name, men know whom I refer to all the same, by signs I make and other circumstances. Thus I pay those who do us displeasances. Okay, so not only is he greedy and a liar, he's also vindictive and jealous. So if you...
Is vindictive the same as jealous?
Vindictive
So, like,
means...
if someone does you something wrong, he does it right back to you.
Yes. So if you, like, disrespect him, he's going to call you out right in front of everybody.
Like, biggest
So he does it back, or like more like he points it out?
He does it back, and worse.
That's what vindictive means?
Seems like a very religious person, right?
No.
Okay.
Maybe, like, not.
Thus I spit out my venom under hue of holiness, to seem both good and true. But briefly my intention I'll express. I preach no sermon, save for covetousness, for at my theme is yet, and ever was, radix malorum est cupidus. Thus can I preach against that self-same vice which I indulge, and that is avarice. But though myself be guilty of that sin, yet can I cause these other folk to win from avarice and really to repent. But that is not my principal intent. I preach no sermon save for covetousness. This should suffice of that, though, as I guess. So, again, he says out loud, right to all these people, I am the most avaricious person I know, but I only preach sermons about what happens to people who are greedy.
What does avarice mean?
Greedy. So he is super greedy, but that's his number one sermon.
But, like,
Makes sense.
He's an expert
talking
in the
about,
matter.
like, spitting venom on people, like getting back at people.
Yes.
For good and true. And it's like, that's not, it's not right. If you get, he's a hypocrite.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I spit out my venom under hue of holiness.
Yeah.
So
like,
he
pretends.
Pretends to be good and holy, but actually he's not.
You just winging it.
Then do I cite examples, many a one, out of old stories and of time long gone. For vulgar people all love stories old. Such things they can retell well and can hold. What? You think that because I'm good at preaching and win me gold and silver by my preaching, I'll live my free will in poverty? No, that's never been my policy. For I will preach and beg in sundry lands. I will not work and labor with my hands, nor baskets weave and try to live thereby, because I will not beg in vain, say I. I will none of the apostle counterfeit. I will have money, wool, and cheese and wheat, though it be given by the poorest page or by the poorest widow in village, and though her children perish in famine. So he will take the last piece of bread from a widow and her children, as long as it means he doesn't have to go hungry or work.
That is somebody. Oh my god.
He's the partner.
Nay, I will drink good liquor of the vine, and have a pretty wench in every town. But hearken, masters, to conclusion shown. Your wish is that I tell you all a tale. Now that I've drunk a draught of musty ale, by God I hope that I can tell you something that shall in reason be to your liking. For though I am myself a vicious man, yet I would tell a moral tale, and kin the which I'm wont to preach, more gold to win. Now hold your peace. My tale I will begin.
At least he knows he's a bad person.
Yes.
He's awful man.
Okay. Now for his story.
Prisoner's tale.
It's a good one. Maybe my favorite. In Flanders, once, there was a company of young companions given to folly, riot and gambling, brothels and taverns, and to the music of harps, lutes, and guitarns. They danced and played at dice both day and night, and ate also, and drank beyond their might, whereby they made the devil sacrifice within that devil's temple, wicked, wise, by superfluity both vile and vain. So damnable their oaths, and so profane, that it was terrible to hear them swear. Our blessed Saviour's body did they tear. They thought the Jews had rent him not enough, and each of them at other sins would laugh. Okay, so this story that the partner is telling is about...
Met the JV girl to get dressed for the game. JV girl.
I might not be able to work right away at the JV game also because I'm taking a math test, but I'll come as soon as I'm done.
So what is this story? Who will be the subject of this story?
Sinners?
Sinners. There's actually 3 guys, and what do we know about these 3 guys?
They're friends and they like to drink and gamble.
There's
and
friends,
sleep
they like to
around.
drink and gamble. What else?
Sleep around.
Sleep around. What else do they like to do?
They like to listen to music
Yeah.
and
Okay.
fight.
Folly.
What's folly?
Folly means like silliness or
Oh,
ridiculousness.
so they're like immature boys.
What else?
Whereby they made the devil's sacrifice.
Are they gonna do some cult stuff
Vile
or
and
something?
vain?
Or like,
Our blessed Savior's body did they tear?
With what?
crucify Jesus?
What caused Jesus' body to tear?
Okay,
They
well, it says
swear?
Judas had
Their
their
words, they cuss
skull. Oh.
so obscenely
Okay.
that it's like, metaphorically,
Ripping him apart.
ripping Jesus' body. That's how bad their mouths are.
That meant some people
So
like that.
they cuss like sailors.
Yeah.